Creatine is one of the most researched supplements on the planet. So in this video, I wanted to simplify and explain what it is, what it does, and where we can get it. Creatine is a naturally occurring compound that your body makes every single day. It's made from 3 amino acids, glycine, arginine, and methionine. And then the body stores it mainly in the muscle tissue and in the brain. In addition to the creatine that your body naturally makes, you also get it from food, stuff like meat and animal-based foods. Our bodies naturally make about 1 to 2 grams of creatine a day, and those who eat an omnivorous diet, they eat about 1 to 2 grams of creatine a day. So that's about 2 to 4 grams of creatine that we have without even taking a supplement. So what does creatine do? Well, it does 2 things. The first thing is rapid energy regeneration, and the second thing is intracellular hydration. Let me explain. The cells in our body run off of ATP, adenosine triphosphate. When creatine is stored in the muscle, it's stored as phosphocreatine. This means that creatine is holding onto high energy phosphate. When our bodies use up ATP, it turns into ADP, adenosine diphosphate. So what creatine does is it donates that phosphate to ADP, so that way it can become ATP again, adenosine triphosphate. That's why athletes use creatine, because intense activity depletes ATP very quickly and it needs to be regenerated very quickly with creatine. Think of creatine as your backup battery to give you energy when you need it the most. If you're doing an all-out sprint, that first 5 to 15 seconds of energy is thanks to creatine helping regenerate ATP. So that's the first thing it does. Stored in the muscle is phosphocreatine for rapid ATP regeneration during intense exercise. The second thing, as I mentioned earlier, is intracellular hydration. I'm sure you've already heard or experienced for yourself that when you take creatine consistently, you gain a few pounds of water weight. This is because when phosphocreatine accumulates in the muscle, it increases the intracellular osmolarity. This increased osmolarity pulls water into the cell, thus increasing intracellular hydration. This is a really good thing because a hydrated cell is a more efficient cell. It just works better. And this increased hydration helps your cells recover faster. This is one of the reasons why creatine isn't just a workout supplement anymore. People are taking it for cognitive support, for brain health. There's actually some really interesting research that came out recently that a larger dose of creatine, 15, 20 grams, actually can help offset a poor night of sleep. Okay, so what's the proper dosage of creatine? I like to think of it in 3 different categories. The first category is the maintenance dose for the average person, which is 5 grams a day. The second category is for larger individuals that work out a lot and have a lot of muscle mass. They need to take more like 10 grams per day. And the third category is the poor sleep category that I mentioned a second ago, where you can take 15 to 20 grams after a poor night of sleep. And a lot of people like to take that in divided doses. So for me, if I have a poor night of sleep, I'll do 10 in the morning and then maybe 10 in the afternoon. And this isn't after every night. This is just the occasional poor night of sleep that you get where you take this large dose. So where are the best places to get creatine? Now remember, first and foremost, it comes from animal-based foods. Stuff like beef, pork, salmon has about 2 grams of creatine for every pound that we eat. The next place to get it, of course, is through supplements. I like to get single ingredient creatine monohydrate. So you can look at the back of the bottle. Under ingredients, it should say nothing else but creatine monohydrate. No additives, no fillers, no artificial flavors, nothing else. That's all you need is just the creatine. You also want to make sure your creatine is from a clean source. There's this creatine called Creapure that a lot of brands use that's from Germany, and it seems to be the gold standard for pure creatine that doesn't have any harmful byproducts or additives or anything else. If it's not sourced from Creapure, you can see if it's NSF certified. This means it's tested for quality, safety, purity, and manufacturing standards. The brand Momentous sources their creatine from Creapure and they are NSF certified. There's also a brand called Thorne. They have a creatine monohydrate that's NSF certified. And there are many other brands that have this NSF certification and are rigorously third-party tested. All in all, creatine is very safe. Like I said earlier, it's one of the most widely studied supplements in the world and it has an amazing safety profile. All right, that's it. Thanks for watching. Please let me know in the comments anything I missed or left out or things you want me to talk about in a future video. I hope you have a great day and we'll see you in the next one.